And I'm the vicar of St Margaret's Church here in Rainham, and it's good to be with you today, the day after the announcement of another national lockdown. And it's come as a blow, I think, to many people, if not, um, it hasn't really been unexpected in one sense. Oh, excuse me. And I thought it's important that we just take a moment to step back from it all and take stock. And I think for me, the thing that's going through my mind is that we've been here before, we've got through it, and we survived. And I know it's sometimes harder the second time round because you kind of, the first time round, you don't know all of the emotions that you're going to experience, but now we know the emotions we went through last time, and we think to ourselves, gosh, can we survive all of those again? And I think the answer to that is yes, we can. And it's important that we pull together during this time, that we create a routine in our lives. And that's why I firmly believe that morning prayer, word for the day, and evening prayer is a good thing, because in a time where structure can be lost, order and routine can be lost, we can actually find a rhythm, a new rhythm of life during this strange time in which we live. I also think it's about being honest with each other and honest with God is a way of surviving this time. But also, part of me wants to say, how can we not just survive but thrive in this time? What are the things that we can do to actually build ourselves up constructively and do things in a intentional way? It's interesting that a good friend of mine, Scott, over in America, said that in 2020 he read fewer books than he's ever done before, even though on the face of it, he most probably had more time to read than ever. And part of me says it's easy to fall into that trap of not having the structure, not having the routine, and therefore doing very little. But why don't we either take up a new hobby? Why don't we set ourselves a target of some books that we want to read? For me, it's going to be working on the train set intentionally and not just thinking, gosh, what am I going to do now? Not that I have lots of time to go, gosh, what am I going to do now? But I hope you get what I mean. It's also important to go, how do we ensure that we support each other well during this time? So last night, as soon as the decision was made, I opened up my diary and started blocking time out every single day to support the homeschooling of our children, because that's important and it's a burden that Kaylee shouldn't bear by herself, because that's something which I did poorly last time round, and so that's my intention to improve this time round on taking my part in parenting. And how do we support each other as a church too? How do we look out for each other? I think one of the important things is to phone people up to ask them the open question, how are you feeling? What's going on? Because actually small talk counts, and talking to each other and just making that human connection is really important. I think it's also good for us to continue to pray for the NHS and all those in frontline care services and the key workers, as they find it very difficult during this time with the pressures that COVID brings. But as I said at the start of the year, I'm hopeful. I think actually we're on the right side of this virus. We've still got some battles to win, but do you know what? We're moving in the right direction, and there's always hope. We have a God that loves us, that cares for us, and goes before us in all things. And by gosh, has He gone before us in this? Well, I hope you have a good lunch, good rest of the day. Do join us later for home group. I think it is Tuesday Night Live. It is Tuesday, isn't it? I can't remember what day it is.